Here is the UN General Assembly, where the United Nations so-called best diplomats come to discuss world issues and do their best, because they're supposed to be expert diplomats, on how to obtain and eventually maintain peace. Now, here is the speaker introducing Benjamin Netanyahu. Some people, there's old Benjamin coming out now, about to say his thing. Now, you'd think all these pro-Gaza, pro-Palestine Islamist people would be there to think, okay, at least let's hear what he's saying. But have a look at all the hijabi Nazis. Look at them. They get up and walk out. Look at them. They're walking out. Benjamin Netanyahu is there at the UN Assembly. Look at them. Look at all the hijabi Nazis. Look at the hijab. Look at the hijabi Nazi. Look at the hijabi Nazi. They get up and empty the hall. When Benjamin Netanyahu, the man they're accusing of false genocide, false this, false that, and they can't even be bothered to say to themselves, let's just sit here and see what this man has to say. And you know why they can't do that? Because they don't want peace. Look at the hijabi Nazis. Look at them. The hijabi Nazis. All these Islamists walking out. And do you know why they got up when Benjamin Netanyahu is about to talk? Because they can't stand to even look at the Jew. Look, the hall's dead. What diplomacy is this from the United Nations? You know why the hall emptied? Because they can't even stand to look at a living Jew up there on the podium talking, because they support Hamas and Islamism, which wants to not only kill the Jews, all of them worldwide, move on to the Christians in the West and all the non-Islamists. That's a fact. There's the evidence right there. What diplomacy is this? Benjamin Netanyahu, who these Islamists from the United Nations accuse of all these alleged allegations, let's say. I don't even want to say it. And they don't even have the thought of sitting down and listening to see what he's got to say. Let's take some notes. Let's process what he's saying. They instead get up and walk out, because they do not want diplomacy. They want death. They want war. And if not for Israel being at the front line for the world on October 7, that jihad that was perpetrated on October 7 was ready to spread worldwide. And Israel's actions suppressed it. Israel is at the front line of civilization. Now, whether you think I am wrong, because they're all just my opinions, regardless, the United Nations General Assembly could not even be bothered to sit and listen to what was to be said by the Prime Minister of the country they want to destroy. That says it all. Peace and love.